You've spent years researching surgical techniques, but here's the truth. The surgeons build a house, but you have to live in the construction zone. What they don't tell you is that the first 48 hours is not just about healing. It's an endurance event of hourly checks and total sleep deprivation. Today, I'm taking you inside the hospital stay to show you exactly how to navigate the side of recovery that the brochures don't go over. So first is some general hospital information. Usually you can have 2 visitors, and usually 1 visitor can stay overnight, and the visiting hours are usually from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So what is attached to your body when you come out of surgery? So first you're going to have an IV line on your non-dominant arm, and then on your donor arm you're going to have a wound vac, and then you are going to have 2 drains, 1 drain on your donor site and 1 drain in your groin, and the wound vac will stay on your arm till day 5. Alright, so arm care or donor site care while you're in the hospital. So first, like I said, the wound vac is going to stay on till day 5, and you will have your arm or your other donor site elevated on pillows, and a occupational therapist will come in on day 5 and fit a custom splint to your arm, and a full dressing change will also be done on day 5. So thigh care while you're in the hospital, which is very minimal. So first, your thigh is going to be covered with a gray foam, and there is going to be some light bloody oozing, and the nurses will change the pads underneath as it gets soaked. So the phallus support and care in the hospital, again, is not much. So first, it's going to be supported with a foam structure that is actually sutured to your skin until day 3. And then day 3, they're going to switch you either to the cloud or a foam style support. And then morning and night, they will put Silvasorb on your incision. So some early mobility rules. First, you're going to be on bed rest until day 3. And then the head of the bed is only going to be slightly elevated each day. And then these movement restrictions help protect the blood flow of the phallus. So just some bathroom considerations. From day 0 to day 1, if you need to have a bowel movement, it will be in bed, unfortunately. And then day 2, they will let you have a bedpan. I would strongly recommend to take stool softeners, and then if you are experiencing gas pain, to ask for Gas-X. Alright, so let's go through the hospital stay day by day. So day 0, which is your surgery day, you're going to have Doppler checks on your phallus every hour. You're going to be laying flat with an abduction pillow between your legs, a clear diet only, and no bedpan allowed. Day 1, they'll switch to Doppler checks every 2 hours, and the head of the bed will be raised to 20 degrees, and you'll still have that abduction pillow between your legs. You'll also be able to eat a regular diet, and the bedpan is still not allowed. So day 2, the Doppler checks will now be only every 4 hours, and the head of the bed will be raised to 30 degrees. You'll still have the abduction pillow between your legs. You will start gentle hand therapy movements, and again, the bedpan is still not allowed. So day 3, this will be your first day out of bed, and they will usually have you get into the chair, and you will sit there for a little while. The Doppler checks are still every 4 hours and after movement, and then no more abduction pillow between your legs, so that's nice. And then now you are allowed a bedpan. So day 4 is going to be your first short walk around the room, and then you also will get your drains removed as long as they are not draining very much. And then the Doppler checks are the same every 4 hours and after movement. Alright, day 5. So a lot happens on day 5. So the wound vac is removed from your arm, the catheter is removed, and some little helpful tips that the staff will help you with in case you can't urinate right from the get-go is running water, blowing bubbles, and smelling rubbing alcohol. And then if you're unable to urinate within 5 hours, unfortunately, they will have to put the catheter back in. The next thing is you will be starting to walk to the restroom, and then occupational therapy comes in, and they will fit you with a custom arm splint, and then they will also teach you hand exercises. Again, the Doppler checks are every 4 hours and after movement. Day 6 is discharge day. So this is the first day that you actually will be able to shower, and a nurse will help you shower for the first time. And this will actually be the first time your arm gets redressed as well, and the nurses will go over how to do that yourself. And then you will also walk the hallway to make sure that you can walk to your place of recovery, and then they will continue Doppler checks until you get discharged. So the hospital just provides the basics. If you don't have your home staging area ready before you go in, the transition back is a nightmare. So I've put together a complete Phalloplasty supply checklist so you can get organized now. The link is in the description. All right, now we're going to go over why it's so important to have a caregiver. You're going to have physical limits. There's going to be a lot of safety risks, emotional stress. The caregiver ensures that you can rest, heal, and avoid complications. So stage 1 needs are very strong support. You're going to have very limited mobility, so you're going to need help with meals, hygiene, getting in and out of bed, and wound care. And you're going to need someone to monitor your drains if you have them after discharge, and your symptoms. So next is emotional support, which is very important. So this surgery is very mentally draining, and your caregiver can help you reduce stress, anxiety, and the post-op blues. So I would recommend about 4 weeks of support from a caregiver. All right, so you might ask, well, what if I don't have a caregiver? So a lot of the times you have some options. So you can either check yourself into a recovery center. You can actually hire a caregiver. There's also local groups and community support. And also you can have friends rotate shifts as well. All right, so one of the biggest misconceptions people often have is that the hospital takes care of everything, and that's just not true. So you have to understand the difference between medical care and recovery logistics. Medical care is what the nurses and surgeons do. They are there to check the blood flow, the Doppler, monitor your vitals, and administer IV meds. They are looking for surgical success. And so recovery logics is what you and your caregiver will manage. So what this is, the environment. So keeping your phone charged, your water reachable, and your command center organized so you aren't constantly twisting or straining. And the next thing is comfort. So managing the small things like lip balm, dry mouth, specific ways that your pillows need to be wedged so you don't slide down the bed. The nurses are there to save your life and your phallus. Your caregiver is there to save your sanity. And if you don't have a system for the logistics, the medical care becomes 10 times more stressful. So navigating the first 48 hours is just the beginning of the system I'm building. So it's called Deep Water, the Phalloplasty Recovery System. We launched this fall, so join the waitlist below to be the first to know when we launch and to get early access. So stay steady, and I'll see you in the next one.